Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So this is a floor of the Tower of Champions, which I have not yet done a free party video for yet. And yeah, I can give you a quick rundown of the timeline of how this came out. The first time that this floor came out, the character of Sanma, who I'm using in the third and fourth position here, he was not available yet. So the run with a free party wasn't really possible. You could have done it with like Louis the 13th evolution, who has the fire resistance, but the amount of damage that she can do was not that great, so I put it off for later. And then the second time that the tower came out, Sanma was then available, but the thing about Sanma is that he or it has a recovery S gauge, which is super fast, and which I do not like to play with, so I put that off again. But now we have the medal system, where you can trade in medals for one-use items. And then the one that I'm using here is the 100% gauge success thing. So I spent the 3,000 medals, and then I don't have to worry about gauges at all on this level. So that makes it much easier to use Sanma, and Yamato Takeru actually, so... Yeah, I waited until this third round of the Tower of Champions to do this, and let's have a look. So gimmicks here are damage walls, and then there are no hearts, so we really need to rely on the healing of our team. And then to talk about my team real quick, first I'm using Yamato Takeru, and he's got the null damage wall, and then he's going to be a main damage source for me, because he has the lock-on one-way laser. Next I'm using the new Raphael Transcendent, and then she has null damage wall and recovery, so if she hits all of my other guys, then she can restore maybe like 23-24% of my life, which is pretty good. And she also has a command strike shot, which can be good to do damage as well. And then finally I'm using two of Sanma. He also has a null damage wall, and he has recovery S, which if I hit everybody does like 15 or like 18% recovery, so not as good as a Raphael, but still very important. However, the more guys you hit, the greater percentage of life you restore. And then with the recovery S, if you hit two or just one guy, it's kind of almost not worth using. So with Sanma, I definitely want to hit all of my teammates. And then he has becomes a pierce strike shot, which means he's a bounce naturally. And I was a little bit worried about using this team because all of my healing guys are bounce, which makes it more difficult to hit my other team members. But my Sanmas, they have the strike shot where they become a pierce, so that kind of makes it easier. And we'll see how this turns out. So yeah, the first two stages we want to take down the sort of flame looking guys, because they have this very strong meteor. And then once we get to the mini-boss and the boss stages, it'll be that character that does the big meteor. So with our guys with recovery, we will try to hit all of my teammates every turn, because that'll be very necessary to keep my HP up through all of these very big attacks. Okay, I believe this is the last mini-boss stage, and then here I would like to get rid of as many little guys as possible. If my positioning were all in the lower right-hand corner, then I could take out the boss first. That would be fine. Because my positioning here is what it is, then we'll go after the little guys first. And yeah, Raphael's cross laser, very, very strong. Okay, so here we'll hit two of my teammates, get the recovery in, grab the boot, and then hopefully hit the last guy. Not going to make it though, so that's a little bit less healing on this turn. Okay, we'll try to make up for that with Sanma here. And no. So yeah, very, very little HP restored there. And yeah, the boss, the mini-boss rather, has a few kind of set attacks. One is a X-laser, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but can be trouble if we are low on hit points. And then there's the meteor, which is kind of her main attack. And then she has a healing, and then in the boss stages, a defense up. Okay. And then I think with this, probably we'll take down the boss. And then I also want to hit all of my teammates to get that healing in. Alright, very good. And then, yeah, because all of my team members are bounce characters, positioning is kind of important so that I can get the most healing in. And then maybe the best thing to do would be to kind of group all of my guys together so they're easier to hit. But here we'll use my first Sanma strike shot in order to hit everybody, do some healing, and then do some damage as well. And then that first turn is important to do damage to the boss because she will get defense up. And then once she gets defense up, then we will focus our damage on the little guys and on healing. Okay, all of the little guys are gone, so we'll focus on healing this turn. Unfortunately, it is Yamato Takeru's turn, so we'll just work on positioning instead. Okay. Okay, defense up is gone, so I'll go back to getting out bomb combos, healing my guys, and then doing damage to the boss. Yeah, Yamato Takeru's positioning is not good though. His one-way laser is going to go into the shield. So we'll try to work on him with Sanma here, try to move him down. Okay, that's better. Alright, there's that meteor. Doesn't do a whole ton of damage, but of course it will build up every few turns it comes out, so we're going to keep on healing, we're going to keep on doing damage to the boss. Alright, so I'm not liking how long this is taking, so I'm going to go ahead and use Yamato Takeru's strike shot. And he also becomes a Pierce, so... Okay, very good. Alright, and then starting from this level, there will be a guy with a gravity barrier, which is pretty annoying. It's not annoying enough, though, that I would recommend bringing guys with null damage wall and null gravity barrier, because that would very much limit your choices. Although, Verdandi could be good, she could be a good damage source as well. But I would prefer guys with recovery. So in addition to Raphael, like Anubis or Sakura. Alright, I'd really like to get rid of those little guys, because that will open up the field a little bit so I can get in more healing. And then also that gravity barrier is really going to slow me down, so try to get rid of him. Okay, poison, there we go, great. Yeah, I really like poison, it comes in handy a lot. Alrighty, so little guys are gone. We are free to get in more healing if we can hit all of my guys. No. There's that meteor. Sanma does have the shield luck skill, so that can really save me in a pinch. Okay, so there I was able to hit everybody, so we got a decent amount of healing in. Getting pretty close to dying though, so... I'm going to use a Sanma strike shot again, just to make sure I hit everybody. And then I'm also going to end up doing a lot of damage to the boss, which is pretty great. And yeah, I still believe that the bounce becomes a pure strike shot is one of the best strike shots for drop monsters. Okay, last stage. And here too, we want to get rid of the little guys, especially the guy with the gravity barrier. so that'll free us up to do damage to the boss. And then ideally we want Yamato Takeru at the bottom half of the screen, just so that we can kind of guarantee that his lock-on one-way laser will go into the boss. Okay, we'll hit all my guys, get some healing in, and then that will open up the field so that we can do damage to the boss. And then defense up goes away. And we'll get some bump combos in. Alright, I see that Raphael is not in position to really do damage to the boss, so we'll ignore Raphael for now. And then move Yamato Takeru a little bit up, so that he's closer to the boss. Okay. So we'll go ahead and use Raphael's command strike shot. And then, yeah, her command strike shot, the first tier charges up pretty quickly. So it's not a big deal to use it the first tier. But I like to save strike shots until I'm kind of in a pinch. That kind of backfires once in a while, but it'll work out fine here. Okay, and that was the free party run of floor 21 of the Tower of Champions. And yeah, if you liked that, I have an entire playlist of other floors of the tower using free parties. And those can be helpful for people who either want a challenge or who do not have the right hatcher monsters for each floor. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Take care.